Hi, everybody. My name is Luke Takuya Palermo. I'm bicultural, biracial, and ever since I was a kid, I was always involved in Japanese learning, specifically Keisho Nihongo learning. So a big hurdle for me growing up, especially in kind of like a suburban New Jersey neighborhood, was a lack of opportunity really to kind of use Japan or Japanese rather. It was kind of tough for me to find like real world examples or real world settings to use all this wonderful language skills that I'd been learning. This kind of apathy set in. Why am I in class? Why am I spending all this time? I'm not even getting to use it. I think one major source of encouragement for me was a lot of the trading card, I guess, culture came directly from Japan. And so my interest in this specific thing, I think naturally led me to keep up with my language skills so that I could keep up with the latest releases from Japan. Definitely, I lean on it as like a professional marker for myself. When I do work and when I do studies that are related to Japanese, it really kind of feels like I'm like adding to my own identity. And I'm kind of like, basically like improving myself through my work and through my studies. My Keisho Nihongo studies, they were fun. I met a lot of friends. But yeah, especially as I got a little bit older, as I kind of hit my teenage years, it got to be a little bit of a slog, a little bit of something I wasn't super duper looking forward to. The urge to quit something, I think, comes from a place of um, self perceived inadequacy. Um, I think that when you give something a shot and you say to yourself, like, I'm not very good at this or I'm really bad at this, then I think that's basically just, leads naturally to quitting something and not trying it anymore. And I guess my advice would be to try to ride that discomfort. Nobody is judging you that harshly. And I think oftentimes you are your own worst critic. Every time you do stumble, you're improving yourself. The phrase, shichikorobi hachioki, I think it is, fall 7 times, get up 8. Language study and doing your best to become bilingual is always worth it. So I'm half Japanese and I'm also half American, specifically from New Jersey. I always like to joke that New Jersey and Tokyo are literally as far apart as you can get from each other physically on planet Earth, and they're both inside me. And so there was definitely kind of this gulf. I feel like that was part of my identity, and at some point I did kind of start getting a little bit of just anxiety about it when I started kind of trying to think about myself more maturely and trying to kind of carve out an actual identity for myself. I think the way out of that and the way I overcame that was to just begin thinking of myself more metaphorically. This metaphor that I came up with was that, so I feel like my identity is on the very bottom of a very large chasm or valley. And so as I'm learning Japanese and as I'm learning about the culture, Keisho Nihongo, I feel like I'm kind of climbing up one side of the valley and kind of like improving my knowledge that way. But then I realized I can only climb up one side at a time. And I think using metaphors and just kind of trying to make a story out of my own life really helps me overcome that, or at least helps me understand myself a little.